Hi everybody, it's Dara, and today we are going to make something delicious that you could have for breakfast, lunch, snack, dessert, and it's using what is in season. So I have these flat bottom persimmons. They're called fuyu here in the US. In Paris they were called kakis. So these can be eaten like an apple, as opposed to, where did my other ones go? I have these other persimmons that are, let me get them, because I get asked this question a lot. These are the hachia persimmons, and they're pointy at the bottom. That's how you can tell the difference of the shape. These are redder because they are riper, and they need to feel like a water balloon, and then they're ripe and good. And how I like to eat these is doing what I did in here, which is all I did was I blended the persimmons without the top with a pinch of salt. In this particular one, I threw a handful of cashews to give it creamy. I love hemp seeds with the persimmons, but I didn't have any blended in the NutriBullet or Vitamix. So this is just a sweet persimmon puree pudding. And I was at Moon Juice this morning getting a green juice. So greens are really important to get your greens on, of course. And they sell coconut yogurt, raw and probiotic. Basically, it's the inside of a young Thai coconut blended up with probiotics so that it ferments a bit and helps our body to aid in fighting bad bacteria. The good bacteria fight the bad bacteria. There's a lot of studies done on how that is a brain as well. So we've got the brain, we've got the heart, we've got the gut flora. Affects our brain. So it's really important to not only get your greens on, to alkalize your blood, to do all of these things to get more oxygen to our brains. We want to think well, we want to operate from the heart, from our heart's brain system, and now we're talking about our gut. So eating raw sauerkraut, which is the kind that must be left refrigerated, it's not the kind you're going to find in a jar on a shelf. So wherever you are in the world, it's the raw sauerkraut. It's got living probiotics, living fermentation. So you can make your own. It's really easy to make your own, and I think I'm due for a sauerkraut recipe here. I did one with Dan McDonald. I think it's on his channel. But so this is another way. So basically, you would just take the inside of the coconut, blend it up, and put a packet of, you know, something like this. A different probiotic that you can get. You want to get the best you can get. I like Elemental Wisdom, W-I-Z-D-O-M. So this has already been done for us, and if you don't have this, then I would recommend, what would I do to substitute? I'll tell you what I would do to substitute. You could get coconut flakes, soak them in water, blend them really, really well, add probiotics, maybe lemon juice after the probiotics, after it's fermented. So you leave it, you blend it with water and probiotics, you leave it out on the counter overnight, and then you could add some lemon juice, and you'll get like a coconut yogurty thing without having to deal with the fresh coconuts, which are obviously best, but this has been done for me, so that makes it super easy. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit in a bowl, and I'm happy to be home, but I do miss Paris. I was just talking to Craig on the phone. We were FaceTiming, and we're thinking of French recipes to do. I want to put all the photos and ideas and beautiful places into an ebook. Speaking of ebooks, I'm going to do a recipe dedicated to this. I'm going to do a soup recipe based on a French recipe, and announce that finally the Soups and Smoothies ebooks is up for sale for $9.99 on my website, link below. And it's so exciting because it took so long to do, so really mindfully done about having the best recipes. Lisa tested them and photographed them, so you get to see her gorgeous photographs, and it's just taking it all to a whole new level, to which I'm extremely pleased, because not only are the recipes delicious, the photographs are gorgeous, and I believe that when people have asked me what do I do first? Like, I heard raw is good, or I heard, you know, I should eat healthy. What should I do first? And I always say, make a soup or a smoothie. And I explained to them right there, I'll write it down. I used to so many times write down on a piece of paper, kale, okay, let your bananas get really, really ripe with brown spots on them, because if so, you get more potassium, you get more fiber, they don't constipate you. Let them ripen, peel them, put them in a bag, freeze them. Use that, kale, bananas, frozen mango, maybe a date, maybe some vanilla. So I would say that, and I can't tell you how many times I've written out a smoothie recipe, or my one true green thing recipe. And this book has a milder green, it's got a chaga soup, it's got a gorgeous beet. And so I'm really happy about it, because there's so many times I would have liked to have said to people, here's what you do. Here's how you make it taste good. Because I found out that not everybody has the same ability to, just know how to do it. They have other abilities, ones that I don't have. So what I kind of want to do is, this is very, I want to thin this out with water, because I want to put another layer to make it look so pretty. And then I'm going to cut persimmons on top and sprinkle pumpkin seeds. And this has our protein. Pumpkin seeds have protein. Pumpkin seeds help us get rid of parasites, which parasites are everywhere. They could be on, lettuce, but that's why another reason we want to have our fiber, to pull out undesirables. Like if we're eating like gummy food, the breads and the rices and the pastas and meat that gets stuck, or then we don't, things get stuck, and that's where undesirables live. So we want to, this is a lot. Like I could eat half this yogurt and half the persimmon. I'm just really wanting to make it look pretty. So I'm not making it full all the way up, or I could do layers, which would be nice. But I don't think I need to. Oh, I'll do one more layer. A little more water. It's just thinning it out so I can, if I put something thick, it'll lift the bottom layer. This one may not have needed that. It was perfect as it was, but that's okay. So, I guess I'm gonna have a nice big breakfast. I haven't eaten yet and it's late. You know what you can use? I'm using a spoon and being sloppy. You could use a piper, one of those bakery piping things that you put everything in a bag, and then you, I don't really have patience for stuff like that too much. I mean, if I was doing it for something in particular, but because I just decided to make this and please myself, it doesn't have to be fancy, and it's going to be pretty. Someone once likened my food preparation to being, it's like a southern country home cooking in France. Like instead of being perfectly refined perfect little pieces of things, it's more family style, but still beautiful, right? So if something's on your glass like that, you can just wipe it with a napkin. But I will cut the persimmon, and I guess that's it, unless you want to stay with me while I cut the persimmon. I am having a lot of fun at home. There's a lot of changes in the air, which I will fill you in on. I'm blogging about them on More with Dara. Just changes. Changes happen, right? And it's how they happen all the time. And we could choose to stick our heels in the ground and complain about the changes and resist the changes, but then we're the person constantly resisting, when what I like to do is to say, okay, well, if that happened, then the bright side is this. And then I just think about the bright side. It's how we look at the things that happen to us. It's how we look at what people do that makes the difference in the happiness in our lives. So it's all a matter of choice. And we can think better here, and from here with something like this. I'm so pleased. Little pumpkin seeds. And we have a beautiful dessert. I like salty with sweet. So, bon appetit, everybody. Get your greens on. I'm going to take a picture of this, and I'll see you on Instagram, hopefully. Join me on Instagram. See you soon.